Here is just one piece of fabric, and it is 10 inches by 14 and a half. And the very first step that I took was to place a zigzag seam with my machine. It's just a seam, it's just a stitch on your machine. It's a setting on your machine, and I placed it down both sides here, both 10-inch sides, to make sure that we don't have frayed and raveled edges. So let's get started. The very first thing after we place our zigzag seams is we just want to fold it perfectly in half like this, okay? And after we fold it, we are going to place 2 pins, and you can use pins. I prefer these little clips. Okay, so we have 2 pins, and then we are going to mark 2.5 inches on either side. So we're gonna come down here, and to the 2.5 inch mark, we're gonna make 1 mark here. And then the 2.5 inch mark, looks like I put my pin right where it belongs, but the 2.5 inch mark here is going to be here. And what I'm gonna do, I'll show you on the machine, is I'm gonna take a small stitch from here up to here and stop, and then from here to here and stop. We're making a pocket here for the middle of our mask. Our sewing machine, and on this step, we are going to make a 1/4 inch seam from the end here down to our first mark, back stitch, and come back and end here. Leave this part open, and then we're going to come back down to our second mark, start here with the 1/4 inch seam, start, go back to back stitch, come all the way to the end, back stitch, and off. Okay, so now we have placed our stitches here. We have one from here to here and one from here to here, so we have an open place here. So what you're going to see next, we are going to take this, and we want it to look like this instead, okay? So we just took our seam and we rolled it to the middle of what we're working with, and we are going to iron down this seam flat, okay? So when we start here, we are just ironing down the seam so it will lie flat. Okay, so we have our iron down seam in the center of what we're working with, and we have it pinned down so it's not going to go anywhere. The next step is we're going to mark these corners off, and so every single corner is going to be marked at 1 3/4 inch. So we're going to make a mark here at 1 3/4 inch, and a mark this way at 1 3/4 inch. And then when we connect those 2 points, we're kind of making a little triangle here. We're going to do this to all 4 corners, okay? 1 3/4, 1 3/4. We're going to do that, and then we are going to take this back to the sewing machine and make a stitch here, 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 and here. Okay, so I have stitched all 4 corners, and now we are just going to cut them off about 1/4 inch below the seam we created. Now we are going to turn it to where we can see the right side. So see, we've made our pocket here, and these are still open. Now we're going to turn it to where we can see the inside. Now we are going to iron this flat so that it's easier to work with. Okay, now we're going to create a top stitch along here and along here. But at the top, we want to make sure that we're making a pocket up here for this nose piece to be added. So whatever piece that someone wants to insert here, whatever metal piece they want to insert here to go around the nose, okay? So we're going to start our seam. We're going to make a 1/2 inch seam on the top one, so there's plenty of room for this nose piece. So 1/2 inch to here, and stop your machine so there's a pocket here to insert. Then come back and start again here and finish, and then for the bottom, from here to here to here to here. So now you see that we have our top stitch along here with a little gap here. This way, when we slide this up through here, your nose piece can rest right there, okay? So after we have done that, the next thing we're going to do is fold these again. So you are going to take the bottom, this is the top because this is where the nose piece is, so take the bottom and just fold it to the center like this and iron. Then we're going to take this top and we're going to fold it over, but we're not going to stop in the middle. We want it to overlap just a little bit. So we want it overlapping just a little bit, so we're making like a little burrito shape here. And we have ironed it flat. Now, this is the tricky part. And we're going to need our pins. Now we are going to take this corner here, and in your diagram it's going to be called corner A, and we're going to pull it over to here. You don't want it like that. That's a V shape. You want a 90-degree angle at the corner. Do you see there? And we're going to pin it. And then you're going to do the exact same thing over here. So we're going to take this corner and we're going to pull it right back up to 90 degrees. Now, we're going to take this and we're going to fold it twice. This end right here. So we're going to fold it in half and then fold her again and then just clip it right in there. And we're going to do that to both sides.